Welcome to Vegan Ultra. I'm your inspiration guide, Adam Gallus, on this epic quest for health, hope, and happiness, in which I lose 150 pounds in 12 months on a whole food vegan diet while walking 3,000 miles to prove to myself, my family, and everyone watching on YouTube we can all become the ultra versions of ourselves if we give it a chance and are powered by plants. This is the training update, and let's take a look at how my fitness goals went for the week. In terms of walking, I achieved my goal of 66 miles. That's 109 big loops. That means I have now managed 572 miles in 9 weeks. That's 22 marathons, or walking from New York to Indianapolis. According to Fitbit, I've burned over 101,000 calories, or 29 pounds of fat, and I've lost 87 pounds in 24 weeks. But last week, we talked about what kind of incredible diet of champions that I use to make this possible. Now, that, of course, is key. You need to have the optimal diet, not just for someone like an ultra athlete such as myself, but for anybody. You want to make sure your nutrition is excellent. But today we're talking about the supplements of champions because, of course, most Americans are quite terrible when it comes to their nutrition. Standard American diet is quite deadly. So let's take a look from Oregon State University Linus Pauling Institute, an examination of the dietary insufficiencies. So what are the vitamin insufficiencies and deficiencies for Americans? Well, you can see that it ranges by the actual vitamin, but it's very high. 43% for vitamin A, 39% for vitamin C, 88% for vitamin E, 94% for vitamin D, vitamin K 67%, magnesium 52%, potassium virtually 100%. Not on here is fiber. 97% of Americans don't get enough fiber. Interestingly enough, guess how many Americans are deficient in protein? 3%. So where do you get your protein? Only 3% of Americans should be answering that question. But 97% of us should be asking, where do you get your fiber? Guess what? It comes only from plants. Choline also 92%. And no, this is not for vegans. This is just all Americans. Basically, standard American diet is crappy, and diets and supplements are not just for vegans. But let's talk about the two essential vitamins that all vegan doctors agree and backed up by science. So let's talk about B12. This is, of course, important. B12 comes from bacteria naturally occurring in the soil and water, but we have sterilized both, and that is why now it comes from fortified sources. Animals have lots of it because they are fortified with it. Well, there are natural sources from plants such as duckweed, but that is hard to come by. But guess what is not? Nutritional yeast. 1 teaspoon, which is 7 calories. Boom! 2.7 micrograms per day, 111% of what you need. And my personal favorite brand. Now, I am not getting paid in any way from any of this, but okay, Terrasol. The reason I like this is non-GMO, organic, very tasty, and 60% calories from protein. Low in sodium, packed with all these vitamins because it is fortified. And take a look, 1 tablespoon, that is 3 teaspoons, 90 servings, meaning 270 teaspoons per bag at $16.62. So as you can see here in my vegan supplement table, which I will make available in the description section for anyone to look at, nutritional yeast, 6 cents a day for all the B12 you need. Okay, what if you want the cheapest and easiest source of supplementation? Oh, well, let's take a look at one other important thing all doctors and studies show. Vitamin D. This is not actually a vitamin. This is a hormone produced by the human body when our skin is hit by sunlight. But of course, the problems are several fold. One, many of us live in latitudes where for much of the year we don't get enough sunlight. Even if we do live in a latitude with lots of sunlight, such as Phoenix, we spend our days indoors. And three, even if we do get enough exposure, 20 to 30 minutes a day, we wear sunscreen, which is good, but that blocks the UV rays needed to make vitamin D. Well, take a look at this vegan vitamin D, 1000 IU. How much is recommended? The answer is 600 to 800 international units per day. So we can see here, this 1000 is sufficient. And guess what? This is pretty much an entire year's supply. In fact, it is 365 pills for one bottle, which costs less than $15. That's 4 cents a day. So pretty much, there you go. Nutritional yeast and this, that's 10 cents a day. But what if you want to get even cheaper? What is the cheapest absolute way to get all your essential nutrients? That would be from this brand of vegan multivitamins. This is for the version with iron, which is important for things like for pregnant women. As you can see, iron, this is non-heme iron, by the way, 9 milligrams per day. So still not quite enough for a pregnant woman, but certainly good enough for most men. Now, I personally use this one, the iron-free, because I get more than enough iron. In fact, as we saw in yesterday's weigh-in video, I'm averaging around 35 to 40 milligrams per day of non-heme iron. So we can see here, this basically covers all your bases for the essential vitamins A, C's, the B vitamins, biotin, zinc, selenium, getting near 100% for most of everything, not quite on choline. But for 8 cents a day, this will get you pretty much what you need. And 8 cents a day is $2.40 per month. I am spending slightly more because I, as an ultra athlete, am trying to achieve something incredible, and I want optimal nutrition, not just good nutrition, optimal nutrition. So what else is important? Well, pretty much those are the only two vitamins that are essential. This one daily vitamin here for 8 cents a day. I personally also take this one. This is how I get my vitamin D. It's bundled with vitamin K2, the most absorbable kind. Now, mind you, vitamin K comes from green leafy vegetables. Now, the only reason that I'm taking this is it costs 8 cents per day. So pretty much the same cost as the vitamin D on its own. And I'm getting my leafy vegetables from Walmart to save money, and they don't have the actual nutrient for the vitamins available. So that's why, just to be safe, paying that extra 4 cents a day. I'm also taking a choline supplement, and here is why. So for the last few months, I've been enjoying these Eat Meaty mycelial chicken cutlets. They're absolutely delicious. The only problem is that a box, even at Amazon, is about $10. Well, $10 a day is quite a lot. Now, they are packed with choline, which is important for brain health. So what about natural sources of choline? Now, I know the carnivores out there will be screaming, eggs, baby! Eggs are rich in choline. Yes, they are. And a box of 12 jumbo eggs at Walmart is $3.80. So 3 jumbo eggs, which is about $1.20, which has 293 calories. And let's take a look here. How much choline are we? Yes, 100% of the daily choline you need. Okay, you can get that. And this is a cheap source of non-supplemented choline. Here's the problem, though. We have 20 grams of fat, 6 grams of saturated fat. That's half what the American Heart Association recommends, and 705 milligrams of cholesterol. Eat this every day, and statistically speaking, you'll raise your cholesterol 71 points. Remember, under 150 is associated with essentially zero chance of dying of heart disease. The average Americans is over 200. So, what is the cheapest vegan source of choline I have found so far? 21 cents a day from Nested Naturals. And finally, vitamin omega 3. Now, as we saw, ALA can be converted to EPA and DHA, but not in amounts that are optimal. You can still be healthy with omega-3 sources such as walnuts and flax seeds, but in terms of optimal, well, we saw in the science-based magic of omega-3 fats that 500 milligrams per day of DHA and EPA reduces your risk of cognitive decline by 45% and dementia, specifically Alzheimer's dementia, by 64%. And this costs 38 cents a tablet from a very high quality vegan source, algae oil, which per day comes out to 76 cents. So of that $1.13 that I am spending, most of that is coming from the EPA and DHA. And remember, for good health, it costs 8 cents a day. For optimal health, I'm at $1.13, which is roughly half as much as I was spending when I first became a vegan and before I was able to find lower cost, higher quality versions of vitamins. And remember, vitamin supplementation, this isn't about just vegans. All Americans are deficient in terms of potassium, in terms of vitamin D, in terms of fiber. All people are deficient, almost all people. And this is where the low-cost supplementation comes in. This is so important for good health, for optimal health. Thank you so much for joining me. This is so important because I remember the goal is to preach the gospel of science-based magic and nutrition-fueled sorcery of a Blue Zone vegan diet to inspire others to try this lifestyle, to be the healthiest, happiest version of themselves. But this is why it is so important. You have to know right nutrition and the right vitamins to take to make sure that you can achieve the optimal benefits of nature's gift to all of us so that we can all experience our own personal utopia. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video on YouTube, and consider trying a Blue Zone vegan lifestyle. This is science-based magic and nutrition-fueled sorcery that's helped me lose 87 pounds in 24 weeks while becoming the healthiest, happiest version of myself, even in a crazy, crazy year. We can all achieve our own personal utopias if we give it a chance and are powered by plants.